Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in our Nelson Tasman Regional News Roundup. Prisoner escapes Nelson Police again, Christchurch remembered, Navy docks for commemoration, and more. Police are seeking sightings of 22-year-old Ihaka Kawana, who escaped from police custody in Nelson Friday morning. Kawana is Māori, 176 centimetres tall, and wearing a brown t-shirt and black jeans. He was last seen heading in the direction of Queen's Gardens. Kawana is considered dangerous and should not be approached. This is his second escape from Nelson Police custody in 6 months, the last being when he pushed past a guard locking his cell door and kicked open an exit door. That time he was found 18 hours later after a police search that involved police dogs, police cordons and a helicopter. Anyone who has seen Kawana should call 111 immediately. Exactly 5 years to the day last Monday, the Christchurch earthquake struck, leaving 185 people dead, 2,000 injured, 164 seriously, and thousands traumatised and grieving for the loss of loved ones as well as their homes and beautiful city. Since 2011, the Nelson Tasman region has become a home for many Christchurch refugees. We asked people in the street where they were on the day of that devastating quake.
Yeah, I was working as the front of the house manager at the Boatshed Cafe. Yeah. Seems a little, it's amazing to think that it was 5 years ago already.
I was in Nelson here. Yeah.
And have you got any family or any friends in Christchurch?
Yeah, I've got 2 sisters and a brother down there.
Right.
I went down at Christmas to see them actually.
Yeah. And what did you think of Christchurch now?
The roads are still pretty bumpy to drive on. I don't like driving on the roads.
Yeah, I was in Blenheim, and my dad lived down on Avonside Drive, so his house got split in 2 and the liquefaction came up through the floors, and he basically had to leave Christchurch and move to Dunedin, so it took us about 4.5 hours to get hold of him by phone because the phones were all jammed up, and we were really, really worried, but we were just really glad he was alive.
Having a coffee at the Rutherford, and I drove home, and my mate took me home, and I looked online, and I got a hell of a shock about the earthquake about 1:30 in the afternoon, and then I went on TV and I thought, oh my God, this is the biggest natural disaster in New Zealand history.
I just arrived back in Nelson actually from 17 years in Wellington, and it was a bit of a shock, even though earthquake here in Nelson, but when we found out that so many people had died, it was terrible. But I don't have any family in Christchurch, thank goodness, but I still feel for the people. I think it's dreadful.
I had an uncle that lived in Christchurch and he wasn't affected, but I think it affected the heart of New Zealand, to be honest. Yeah, because of the cathedral and the disaster that happened. Yeah.
And there were protests in Christchurch yesterday of 5,000 people saying that they still haven't got any settlement from the earthquake. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it seems shameful 5 years on. It's obviously not enough money thrown from the national government to help people get their lives back in order, and especially I think recently with the cuts to mental health funding. It's taken way too long.
Well, I reckon the government should buck their ideas up and sort it out, because it's been going on for ages and it's not going to stop. They're going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, I think that's really awful because it's been such a long time, and I think, there's been a lot of people who have had to put up with hardship. It's all right for those ones with money. They've gone and bought houses elsewhere while they wait for their settlement, but the ones that have been renting or that haven't got the money to move or have another place, they're a real disadvantage.
I feel it's appalling by this government. Jerry Brownlee is it's something I wouldn't want to repeat, but he doesn't listen to the people because it doesn't affect his electorate of Ireland. It's more or less about a Labour electorate like Christchurch East, and those areas have been hard hit, but because it's not part of the National Party's territory, they just don't care because they're not getting votes out of that area anyway, of Christchurch.
Good comment.
And they think that John Key spin will tell you that they're doing something about it, but they're not really doing anything about it. Hitler always said the bigger the lie, the more people believe it, and that's how John Key works, full stop.
I think it's dreadful. The whole thing, like some people have been treated quite well, but others have just been, there's no way that people should not have a settlement 5 years on. It's criminal actually. It really is criminal.
Paragliding pilots from around the world will descend on Nelson this Friday the 26th to compete in a week-long New Zealand Paragliding Open 2016. Frog Twizzle from Tasman Hang Gliding and Paragliding Club tells us more about this exciting competition. Frog, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Graham.
So we've got the National Paragliding Championships coming to Nelson.
That's right. Registration is tomorrow, Friday, and then we'll be competing for the whole following week, Saturday through to Saturday.
Wow! And can you tell us a bit more about, like, is this just a New Zealand Championships? Or?
It's the New Zealand National Championships, but it's also an open competition, so we'll have a few international pilots visiting us.
Oh, nice. From many different countries, or they're only coming from like one or two countries?
I think we've got a couple from China, maybe 3 from Europe that I'm aware of.
Wow. And is this the first time that we've held these championships?
No, the last time in Nelson was 2014, a couple of years ago, and it's more or less every 2 or 3 years it comes to.
Oh, we're getting it
Nelson.
here.
Yes.
Because of the prime conditions, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Because our wind, you can set your watch by it at this time of year, can't you?
That's right.
So with paragliding, how do you go about getting points and refereeing it? I mean, it's not like you're running around you got someone running around watching all the time.
No. At the beginning of the day, we'll set a task for the pilots to fly. So that might be, depending on the conditions, maybe between 30 and 100 kilometre task. And then it'll either be a straight race where you start at 12 and first person in goals the winner, or we may do a elapsed time competition if the conditions are changing. We'll give a window where the pilots can start when they feel it's the best time. Yeah. But essentially, if you make it to the goal, it's based on your time, and if you don't make it, it's based on how much distance you've covered over the course.
And there's you can't take shortcuts. There's no cheating, is there? Or you got referees flying around up there with them?
No. So everybody's flight is logged by GPS that they carry, and then they send in their track logs at the end of the day.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. So there's no, like, we have these controversies in the racing where they jump on buses or cut through the park or something.
I know.
And when you're flying, can you fly from anywhere? Can you take off? Can you take off and can you land anywhere like the hot air balloons can?
Where we fly from, it's always with the landowner's permission, and that's a legal requirement. But essentially, with any glider, when you come down, you land where you land. So we could end up anywhere potentially, but we like to liaise with the landowners if they've got crops or lambing or whatever. It's best to try and stay away.
Sure. And do you think it scares animals?
It can do, but with only if you go and land straight on top of a deer or something, it's not going to come out well. But no, just a little discretion. I've landed near to farm animals several times without any problems.
So you say you can just land anywhere. So is that like an emergency landing because you're not powered?
Essentially, yes.
Ah, right.
So there's no go around option.
No. So you get it right first time, or you suffer the consequences. Basically.
Essentially, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a bit of planning involved. Obviously, if you're coming down, you'll be on the lookout for a good place to land.
Sure. But it's pretty easy to hold them up. Like, is there any time that you're actually forced to really land? They seem to gain altitude pretty easily.
Well, what we'll do is fly from a site where thermals, rising air, is available. Essentially, you take off, try and catch some lift, gain some height, and then fly off to somewhere else where hopefully you'll get some more lift. In between, if things don't go well, you can end up in some really sinky air and lose lots of height very quickly. So it is possible to get into a bit of a tight spot where your landing options are getting smaller and smaller.
So while you're flying, you're constantly looking for somewhere that you think that's going to be a good place to gain some altitude.
Yeah, and that's where competition flying is really a good development tool for pilots. If you're flying out on your own, you've just got the open air to look at and a few clues as to where might be a good place to go. But if you've got 70 pilots in the air and one of them's going up like a fart in a bathtub, you think, right, let's get over there.
And is it like them in sailing where they steal each other's air?
Not so much, because there are obviously the implications of a mid-air collision are quite serious. So there are some quite strict rules about how you enter and leave thermals and who you give way to. Nice. Mid-air collisions aren't entirely unheard of, but they're very rare. The competition pilots are reasonably experienced. Sure. and know what they're supposed to do.
But like you say, there's 70 people up there and it's a competition.
It can get a bit hairy at times, yeah.
And funding this kind of events, these kind of events are always a problem. How about for you guys? Have you got some good funders?
A lot of the actual funding comes from the pilot's entry fees, but we've had a great deal of support. Lots of local businesses behind us, nice. Giving us resources, prizes, special offers for the pilots, nice. This kind of thing. And many of the national paragliding related businesses have been behind us as well.
Sure, nice. And how about for yourself? How long have you been doing the paragliding?
I started flying 2000, so 16 years now.
Ah, nice. So you're a man of many talents, because you, I see, if the viewers haven't seen before, Zan is your daughter who's doing the speed skating, and I saw in the last ones that you were actually doing the speed skating as well.
That's true, yes.
Not in her league.
No.
So is it a Masters? Is it?
Yes.
You won? And how did you go in your last one?
At national championships, I got 4 bronze medals.
Wow, so nice work. And you haven't been doing that for that long, have you?
7 or 8 months now.
Nice work to get up there. So you must be putting into it.
Keeps you fit.
Great. Hey, thanks very much. And just one more. So you're bringing 70 pilots into here?
Up to 70, yes.
So we've got up to 70 pilots coming into Nelson, staying here, eating here, adding to the economy. It's fantastic. Can't ask for more, can we?
That's right. Well, so we're just going to show them a good time as best we can. Yeah.
Great, Frog. Thanks very much, and all the best for your competition. I hope you do well.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks very much. HMNZS Otago was in port over the weekend for the 75th commemoration of the single greatest loss for the New Zealand Navy, with the sinking of the HMS Neptune, which had 150 New Zealand crew, including 5 Nelson men aboard, with all but 1 soul lost. The ship had been in transit heading for New Zealand to become part of our New Zealand Navy when it hit a minefield in the Mediterranean in 1941. The Otago played host to a public open day on Saturday, with nearly 2,000 people taking the opportunity to look at the ship on its first visit to our port. We sent Ethan down to talk to the ship's captain, Lieutenant Commander Andrew Sorensen.
Lieutenant Commander Sorensen, you guys have just arrived in Nelson from the Auckland Islands and Fiordland. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing in Nelson?
So this port visit into Nelson this weekend and through to Wednesday is part of the Navy's 75th anniversary and celebrating and recognising the sinking of the Neptune. So it's called Operation Neptune this year and part of a bunch of events going on around New Zealand.
Cool. And so I understand you guys are participating in a memorial. Can you tell us a bit about that? What's happening with that?
There's a memorial service tomorrow just by the Nelson Yacht Club. There's actually a memorial for Neptune that was erected 15 years ago, which recognises the loss of 4 men from Nelson that were on board.
Richmond Riding for the Disabled are getting ready for their annual fundraiser fair taking place this weekend. I spoke to committee member Catherine Henry and head coach Tina Angus this week to find out what horsey treats they have in store for us this year.
Catherine, can you tell us a bit more about this exciting summer fair you've got coming up?
Well, we're starting on Saturday for the biggest summer fair that we've ever had. We need horses to come here to the RDA. If anyone wants to know about it, come and have a look. We have horses here that look after the children and our adults as well, and our main aim is to provide more horses so that these boys can have a bit of a holiday. Yes, so they're working horses. So come along. We have events going on in the arena, which Tina will talk to you about, followed by a finale of a parade of horses, which I will explain later. Tina.
Good morning. Partway through the day we will have the vaulting horses. Now this one has come over from Golden Bay, and that's a display that will be in the arena going around the outside. It will show the gymnastics of a rider on top of a horse, which a lot of kids through camps have been able to do. And even in RDA we get some of the children to do exercises that work towards some of this in their own way that works with their muscles and their ability as well. Yeah, so that's one exciting thing that we've got lined up. Another one is the White Stallion, and that's very unique to Nelson and is often on parade here and at different shows. Some of the people in Nelson may have seen him before, and he will put on a display and he just dances and prances. It's that elegance that the history of the horses is all about, so it'll be very beautiful to see. Yes.
Yeah, sounds really fun. And what else is in store?
Well, for children and families, we've obviously got pony rides. Everybody wants to get on a pony. We have some right little cuties, little cutie ponies to the slightly larger one. So there is, there will be a height size, but do bring children along so they can get on a horse and see what it's like. Fun games out for them as well, with the sweets, sausage sizzles, face painting, you name it, we've got it here. There really is something for everybody to have a look. A big silent auction and, of course, the garage sale. Honestly, what has been coming here over the last few days is amazing. There's just been beyond belief the amount of goods. The generosity has been amazing, so we're really happy with that. Great. And then we finish with the grand finale parade of horses.
And when you mean a grand finale parade, you're talking about a few horses? Your horses here, or you got many more coming in?
Well, we do have others coming in as well, and we have quite a few special ones here, but we're going to be having different breeds, and the idea is to tell a story of the horse from your original horse, which was an Arab, down to where they've diluted down through with thoroughbreds, Clydesdales, and how they all have worked to create the horses that we now use here. So every horse has a specific job, and there will be a history of these horses being told to the people as the horses come in the ring. So there's a mare and foal, and I can't really tell you much more, but it is something... Exactly.
That sounds like quite a number of horses.
It could be. It could be. Bring a sack, fill it.
Ladies, thanks very much, and all the best for your fair.
Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing many Nelsonians here. Thank you very much.
Don't miss this opportunity to see the first ever Richmond History of Horses in the flesh and help out a great community asset this Saturday the 27th of February from 10 till 2 p.m. at 169 Champion Road. No dogs, please. The sun shone, the wind blew a bit, and the people turned out in droves to enjoy the best of the region's wine and food last Sunday at the Brightwater Wine and Food Festival. The Richmond Rotary charity fundraiser had nearly 3,000 people of all ages trying out the many local and international foods and region's wines the festival had to offer. Chrissy Small was there and caught up with Rotary spokesperson Peter Glue to find out about the Rotary and the festival. Chrissy also managed to speak to some of the busy stallholders there.
Pete, it sounds like you're coordinating everything. Everything's going smoothly. What a gorgeous day for the Brightwater Wine and Food Festival.
Well, look, we always hold it on the third Sunday of February, and it's amazing that I don't think we've had one wet day, one really bad day. Last year we had a windy day, and it was amazing because one of the sun umbrellas took off, went up about 150 feet in the air, turned upside down, and then just slowly wafted its way back down. So when you get a day like this, we won't be changing the date. Third Sunday of every February from now on, of course.
And of course it's much more affordable. You've brought it down back to a level which brings in the families.
That was one of the silly things we did. A few of the old guys, we got a little bit tired of it, time to sort of let somebody else have a go, but the ticket price went up to $50 when you hand it over to the professionals, whereas by doing this now with us, we keep it at $15 a head for pre-sales, $20 on the day. People have got plenty of money to still spend on the stalls, and that's what they're doing.
Now, look, I see your line-up this year. It's all locals.
Yeah, look, all the food stalls and all the wineries are locals, the breweries are locals, the acts are locals. The money goes back to the locals with the helicopter rescue, Coast Guard, the Brightwater School, Wanderers Rugby Club, Rural Fire, Richmond Fire Brigade, St John's. So all the money goes back to the school, to the locals, and we've put in about over $300,000 up to the state, going back to the local community.
That's amazing. Look, what's your membership like?
Well, our membership, we're at about 45. We're a pretty old club, but the old guys are really good workers. Now, they love getting into this sort of an event, and we also get wanderers to help us these days. So wanderers come in and do the hard work of putting up the tents, shifting the rubbish tins, stacking the bales, and do an excellent job on that.
And of course, the setting. What more could you ask? You know, a beautiful winery.
Yeah, well, Middle Earth Winery, why the heck they actually leave this space available for us. The car parking area out there, which is pretty massive, it's just incredible. We're so lucky. Oh, Rob Gray is so good to us. And today we've got, about over 50 camper vans out there. And next year we could be looking at anything up to 400 camper vans. And we allow them to stay here for nothing. And they just come into the event and support us, which is just so good to see.
Look, Peter, you know, how many people do you think we've got here today?
Yeah, last year we were looking at sort of 2,500 to 3,000. I would say that our crowd would have to be up on last year. We've got the Mainland College who are doing a survey of the event, and part of the event that they will do next year, and we can look at the survey results and work out where we're coming from, where we're going. They will be providing counters as well, so we can actually get an accurate number of how many are here.
Oh, that's great, and that'll give you something to build up for the next one.
It does, yeah. It gives you some forward planning that you can do, but hell, when you get a day like this, why change anything? It's still great, isn't it? Keep it cheap, keep it local, local wines, local beers, local food, and everyone just having a ball.
How many volunteers are here today?
We've got about 40 volunteers working just on the Rotary side. But of course NAPS, who provide all the water, they come in with a team of 10 people putting water out to all the punters out there and backpacks, and so that's invaluable on a day like this.
It's lovely to see Seifried Wines here. How's the day been going?
Oh, busy. Yes, lots of people out enjoying the sunshine. It's a lovely day. It's a great day. Yeah.
So you've got your fine wines here, and of course there's some beautiful food. Have you tried any of the food out there?
Yeah, I've been out and about and had a bit of a look around. Not eating too much, it's too hot for eating, but certainly keeping well hydrated.
Yes, well, you know, it's always nice to have a cool wine on hand on the day like today.
Yes, and that's what these people here seem to be enjoying. It's great.
Are you finding that you're getting very many tourists through at the festival this year?
Probably more locals, but yeah, there are a few tourists. But I think probably mainly locals, yes.
Great day for it.
Yes, wonderful day.
So how's it going with coffees? Are you finding people are coming here quite a bit, or are they preferring the wine?
Oh no, a bit of a mixture. This morning I sold quite a few coffees and a few frappes and smoothies this afternoon.
Yeah. So you're doing well?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Enjoying the music?
Yeah, it's great.
Great atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
Is this your first year here?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Will you come again next year?
Oh, definitely.
Tell me, how's it going today?
It's really good. There's been a great crowd, fantastic atmosphere, and everyone's just loving the wine and the food and the music and the sunshine. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so... a what?
And what a day.
Oh, what a day.
Lord has turned it on again.
Yeah, now tell me, are you preaching to people about drinking and driving when they come and see you?
Oh, most people are pretty responsible. I think the days have gone now where people got a bit messy, and everyone's pretty careful these days, and usually in a group there's a sober driver, and yeah, so the message is out there. People are careful about drinking good quality wine, a bit less of it, and they're really awesome. It's a really nice crowd. Yeah.
Well, there's some great food here to go with the great wine too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just had quesadilla with pulled pork, and it was fantastic.
And the salmon was solid.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, beautiful food.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a fantastic day. It just showcases the best of Nelson wine and food, and yeah, it's a really good day out. Yeah.
So how's your day been?
It's been great, nice and busy, and yeah, great atmosphere.
Yeah, and so you're enjoying all the entertainment going on?
It's great, yeah. It just creates the atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's great of you guys to open this up for everyone to use.
It's neat, and the camper van thing happening, that's great. There was about 50 parked up there last night, and I'm sure there'll be more tonight.
Yeah. Now, is that the first year?
Yeah.
Oh, it's taken off with a bang, hasn't it?
Well, they've advertised it really well, so yeah.
So this is obviously going to be a regular feature, you think?
I think so. Yeah. Well, it just makes it so much easier for people, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh well, great to see you guys doing really well here. The place is beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See ya.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Meet with John Pepper, the man who walked off his Parkinson's symptoms at NMIT's Ko-Fi Lounge, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m, Tuesday, March the 15th. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.